Welcome in everybody to a quick overview of this upcoming shift on July 17th, about to shape the course of your life for the next year and a half. How is this happening? Why is this happening? What's the science? What's behind it? We're going to get into that today. So, let's break this down, shall we? First things first, welcome in everybody who is here. Appreciate you. Much love to you all. Thank you for joining me here on this lovely Friday evening. I was going to record a bunch of small little snippets and it just wasn't flowing the right way. So as a man once said, F it, we'll do it live. So here we are doing it live. But I appreciate you all for being here. Appreciate you all for showing up. Hey, how you living? So this North Node shift on the 17th is going to hit people harder than you might expect. We've been living in a North Node in Taurus society over the course of the last year and a half. One thing about the North Node in Taurus that you might have noticed is that everyone's focus has been very monetary or material. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's been very monetary or material, or hey, what am I building here? What am I trying to make? What's going on with this? What am I trying to bridge into the world, right? Meanwhile, the South Node over the past year and a half has been really intrinsically digging and making people dig within their own reserves. People having to dig within their own personal space in order for them to finally find what exactly they're aiming for. There's a lot of soul search that has been going on and over the course of the last year and a half that you need to give yourself credit for, first and foremost, right? I think a lot of people within the last bit have really found this new, almost spiritual meaning, or found a new kind of emotional connection to themselves or those that are around them, right? And now what's really happening with this is that as we shift into the North Node in Aries time frame, all of that reserve, all of that new finding, all of that digging and searching is about to be over in a certain sense, right? Because while that has been loading underneath, while your guides, the universe, spirit, ancestors, etc., have been digging under the layers of things, you're going to be expected to step into that character that you make, right? This reminds me a lot of just the stories or the movies where that character pops in and they're like, oh no, I'm not ready. I can't do that part. I'm not ready yet. There's too much going on. I'm not ready to do this. Please don't make me do this. And then meanwhile, the guides or whatever is following them are like, you're ready. And they just push them off the edge. As a matter of fact, to be very honest, this reminds me of how a mama bird literally just pushes off the baby bird out of the nest, and they're just ah! And it's you're either going to fly or you're not, right? I have a North Node conjunct South Node transit. Ooh, can't wait for the shift. Say less. And also the North Node and South Node in reverse. Say less. Yo, it's for someone's yo, this shit, right? But the idea of it, right, is that it's you're literally being kicked off the ledge, and now you're okay, do I fly? Do I fly? Do I fly? And on your way down, that's the South Node in Scorpio. Now, mind you, in most cases with the birds, there's usually more than one. Usually there's a few, right? So they're all getting kicked out, and so they're looking to one another who's flying first? Who's flying first? And the North Node in Aries, is you gotta fly. You have to learn how to fly. This is the same equivalency as you're somebody pushing you in the pool as a kid, and they're well, you know how to swim, and it's no, I don't. It's yeah, you do. And you're and it's just go with the flow, go with what feels right. And they're I don't know what you're talking about. That's the North Node in Aries making a shift, to be honest with you. And so what I'm really trying to get at, and what I really want to kind of harp on here, is that it's it's going to be the thing that you want, though. And I think that's what's going to bother people. It's going to be what you want. It's going to be what you're aiming for. And so since it's going to be what you're aiming for, why are you going to shy away from it? And the problem, not the problem, but what can arise with that being said too, is that the South Node in Libra is like, oh no, it's okay. They can do better than I can with this. Wow, like they work so much harder than I do. You should just give them the job instead. Wow, they've really been working really hard. Meanwhile, you've been tearing your ass doing the same exact thing, probably twice as hard. But the South Node in Libra is like, no, it's okay. I don't need that. Then let's say you do give that. Let's say you give it away. Let's say you give it away, right? You give it away. And then you see them do it, and then they fail, and you're like, I could have done better. I could have done better, right? Now the North Node in Aries is going to be like, yo, that was supposed to be you. That was your time. That was your chance to shine. Why did you let that up? Why did you give this off to somebody else in comparison to you actually going and embracing what you want? This is why I couldn't do it in a short, because I'm like, there's so much more. Yes, and you can't swim right now. Just float and go with the flow. That is honestly the best thing to do, right? Let's say you are scared, right? Because not everybody's like, oh, we're going to go do it, right? Let's say you are afraid. Let's say you are scared. One of the things, let's say you get pushed in the proverbial pool of the new moon in Cancer. Perfect, right? It might as well be you. Facts. I'm going to write that down. But it might as well be you. That is a North Node in Aries. It might as well be you, right? And the proverbial pool of this new moon in Cancer, when this shift is happening to begin with, I'll be breaking that down deeper as it goes along. But but it's like, if you get pushed in the pool, one of the things that people kind of in their head get to, they don't know how to swim or go with the flow, right? They're just, help, like underneath, you know what I'm saying? Like, right? Meanwhile, the person who actually is like, oh, I might not know how to swim, but what if I just didn't do anything? What if I just existed, right? What if I just floated up? And then for the person that just floats up to the top again. And they're just, okay. And then they can kind of just do a little something and get there. What I'm trying to say is, when your path, when your destiny, when your guides are asking you to bring the best of you, don't give that power away to something else. I see this all the time. It aggravates me so much. And it's always the most talented people. It's always the people that are like, oh, I can just like, I can give, I can show everything. And it's like, okay, but like, what are you taking for yourself? What are you doing that can actually actively be like, yo, I use this the proper way? Like, yo, you have the power to let power go, but what if you held that power and did something good with it? That's what the North Node in Aries is trying to show you. Where it's like, people are going to shine. Trust me, watch. From the 17th and moving forward, because you're going to see this happen. You're going to see people be in positions of legitimate power. Not even like a power trip moment, right? That Capricorn moon is mooning. Ooh. I've been going off, I'm not going to lie. But the idea though, right, is that the concept, the change here, and I know this sounds harsh because like it is. This is the North Node of Aries, from your favorite Aries rising. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna tell it to you straight. This isn't to fear. This isn't to have you be afraid. This is to prepare you for the vibes that are upcoming. So, like, don't give your power, cut off the BS and put up boundaries. It's going to be a little bit hard to immediately put up the boundaries though. The South Node in Libra wants to collaborate. It wants to blend into anything that's going on. It wants to like show up, be charming. It also kind of wants to like hide behind the crowd. But what would it look like if you went to a Beyonce concert and Beyonce didn't come outside? Beyonce was like, I'll be the opening act to my own show. It's like Taylor Swift going out for her show and being like, wow, I'm so glad to see you all here. I would like to introduce the headliner instead, Kanye West. Everyone will be like, what are you doing? Right? This is the kind of like reversal of power where when you think it's outside of you, it's actually within you. A lot of the times, and especially as this North Node goes into Aries and the South Node goes into Libra, you're going to be loving and admiring certain traits. You're going to love certain traits about things. Like, wow, look how intelligent and look how smart X, Y, and Z is. Meanwhile, that's just you. Meanwhile, you're looking at this other person, admiring the parts of you that you haven't even fully tapped into yet. And why is that? This is what Martians have been prepped for. You're damn right. Also, follow me on Threads. If you want to get the unhinged Sagittarius, he is back. He is active. Go on Threads. I'm writing a bunch of stuff. I don't want to bombard just like the Instagram story with just the stuff that I'm writing. But it's definitely coming through very, very directly. I've already written about a little bit of the new moon in Cancer. I've written about Mars and Virgo that's coming up. And it's honestly easier for me to write and do live stuff, I feel like, you know. I love Beyonce. But and so once more, follow me on Threads. If you haven't gotten a birth chart reading from me, I don't know what you're doing. I know I have a few happy people in this live stream right now who have had personal readings with me, and I love to see how quickly people have been advancing once they're like, oh, you're telling me that's my energy? Like, oh, that thing that I was doing that I didn't think was anything is actually my power? You're trying to tell me what I was trying to perceive is actually the greatest thing that I can do right now? Yes, that's why I'll be looking at this birth chart. So if you haven't ordered a reading, please pull through. I'm also going to be hosting an Astrology 101 course. Astrology 101 course. I'm just going for it. I'm going for it. I feel like I am ready to at least really give my first shot at it. The first time I was going to do an actual Astrology 101 was 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago. I was working for a different place in LA, doing everything for them. We will talk about that another time because I don't feel like explaining it fully. But let's just say they are missing my presence, respectfully. The idea though is like, and once more, what's that? North Node on Aries. See the dichotomy? It's like I want to give, I got you. I got you right now. I got you. Let's get real. We're going to get real. We're going to get into it. It's Cancer season. Let's get into it. So, you remember those days, facts. When I was doing that, I had a lot of things that I had to do that were about me being on stage. That's why I have a weird relationship with Instagram Live, to be honest. But I have to be up and do this consistently. I'd have to do some background work, some marketing work, some advertisement work, write classes, get other people's classes together. There was a lot of things that I had to do interim. And when I would do those things, I wasn't met with congratulations. I was met with, oh, you're screwing up here. And I was like, whoa, this had nothing to do with me. As a matter of fact, that's not even in my job description. That's a whole other story. But the idea, though, is that the North Node portion, right? I didn't realize that people were gravitating towards that because I was making an impact there. I thought I was like very interim. I thought I was just a part of the thing. I was just trying to kind of play my role. Meanwhile, not understanding that in real time, people were like, hey, yo, it's you that we are showing up for. And thank you for showing up. So in all of that confusion, even after I left there was a solid like 5-6 months where I was like, yo, I don't want to do this astrology right now. Like, I'll just rather like go ahead. I'm just going to get some job like bartending. I'm just going to like kind of just go about it. And that was cool for a minute. I'm not going to put it past it. But there was something in my soul that was missing. There was something in my like whole embodiment that I was like, I feel hollow. I'm like, why do I feel hollow? And then I realized, oh, when did I feel my best? When did I feel most myself? When I was doing astrology, when I was sharing this like wisdom, this nerdy stuff that I've sat into my room hours on end, just studying and figuring out and being able to convey that to people in a way that makes sense, right? I'm telling you this story in a sense where it's like North Node and Aries is the actualization of like, oh, I've been doing this whole time. Oh, I really have this ability to just get this done. Why was I looking to everyone else when it was actually me? Why was I looking up to like everything else when it was actually like my doing, right? This is the kind of dichotomy that people have to pay attention to as we enter into July 17th. What are you not giving yourself credit for? Because that shit gotta stop. Today. But like, for real, like, what are you not giving yourself credit for? Because where you're not giving yourself the, like, I was having a conversation earlier, as a matter of fact. And in this conversation, super talented person. Extremely talented. Lovely individual. And, oh man, here we go. They coming for me already. Yeah. You came to the Sagittarius. I don't know what else you want from me. I'm trying to tell y'all the truth. Nah, but for real, the concept of it, though, is that they're like, yo, I just don't think I'm able to do this. And I had to stop him and be like, look at all of these things and these skills that you have that have brought you to the eyes of the people. And they're looking at you as a person, right? I'm bringing this up just to, like, remind people, right? Saturn or Pisces, self-sabotage is your middle name. You come get a reading with me. We gonna get you right. Don't play. I hate when people are like, oh, this is like, no. You just need to know where to go. So Saturn in Pisces 10th house, you have to actively voice your spirituality on a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis. You have to actualize it. You have to be like, yeah. When someone asks you about your belief, you're going to be like, yeah, I do believe in this spiritual stuff. They're going to be like, really? And you're going to be like, next thing you know, you're thinking nothing's going on. They go home. They have a spiritual experience. And they're like, yo, remember that girl I met earlier? Like, yo, I really think this. This is why it's so intrinsic for people to learn their charts and not from some asshole. Yeah, I said it. Who's going to sit there and be like, oh, you have a debilitated Mars? You're never going to do anything good with that. You can't do anything right. I'm about to start ranting, but most of the descriptions, most of the breakdowns, most of the interpretations of old are of old. They didn't have cell phones. We couldn't be having this communion. Before, they're like, Aquarius, like, we don't know what Aquarius even is. It's so strange. It's the internet. It is this right here. It's the fact that Threads just dropped the other day and 70 million people signed up for it instantaneously almost. We're in a different time. So we need different definitions of the energies that have also evolved over time. That is what I am the bridge. I'm doing that. And the people that I am working with, the people that I'm starting to resonate with, the people that are coming through, you in this chat right now, you watching this out of your time on a freaking Friday night that I randomly just started, y'all are part of this as far as, like, this is the real development of what's going on. All that other hearsay, all that other shit, that doesn't matter. Because what it is that you get the tools, you have the resources, you are who you are, and it's about what you're going to do with that makes the world a difference. Because someone can have a Cancer placement or have a Cancer sun. You could be the most emotionally manipulated piece of shit anyone has ever known, or you could literally help heal people from trauma they don't even remember existed in their body. And what's the difference between that? Choice. Knowing yourself. Knowing the shadow. Knowing the high road. Knowing that sometimes those roads have to teeter-totter for a minute. Sometimes those things have to balance themselves out. And to honor that process is the North Node in Aries. Because the North Node in Aries is you honoring your multiplicity as a human being. If you can honor your multiplicity as a person, you're going to be able to connect with other people that have the same kind of like fire, the same kind of fervor, the same kind of love that you do, and that's trying to share into the world. So all this to say, get a reading from me. Holla at your boy. Nah, but for real, I'll be going in like your whole entire chart to you directly. I also really be asking questions. I have like a new setup. So if you have never gotten a reading from the boy or the kid, please make sure that you do that. The man. Nah, but for real. But if you do, let me stop. But if you do have or want to get like a reading or any insight, I have a bunch of ebooks that I also have written. Just easy resource guides to tap into. I'm going to be talking my shit over on Threads, because Threads is cooler and Twitter has kind of pissed me off. Even though I started with Twitter, Started on Twitter. I'm not hating on Twitter for what it has done for my confidence as far as me doing this work. But I have moved over to Threads as far as the quick bits. So if you want to catch me, for the most part, Threads, Instagram, as you already know, and YouTube. These are going to be the main three. I'm still going to post on TikTok. Never understood TikTok fully. Not going to lie. I tried my best. That whole North Node thing I went through. What is Threads? Threads is Instagram's new text-based app, social media, which is basically just Twitter, but new, and it doesn't feel like there's anything about it. They're going to ruin it in like 2 months, so I want to enjoy it for what it is. They're going to ruin it so fast. I already know. But I want to enjoy it for what it is. Thank you all for being here, by the way. Much love to you all. I was literally just in this little studio space because I was about to record a bunch of stuff. And I got frustrated. So it's like, I'm going live. I'm doing it live today. I think I just literally just knocked down my phone a little bit. How do you sign up for a reading? Perfect question. And the link in the description is going to be something that says Standout Store. It's just literally the reason why I have that is because you could click it, boom, order, done, right? Or vice versa. If you want to learn the astrology from me, I don't gatekeep. We are not gatekeeping out here. For the people that are here to learn, for the people that are here to actually understand the astrology, not just for themselves, but to be able to read other people's charts in order to help them, or read someone else's information so they can be like, oh, this is why I react to this. That's what this is all for. We all in this human experience together. And the more that we can come together, South Node and Libra, share our resources of what we know, the easier it's going to be for us to be ourselves to the fullest. It takes a village. It takes a literal village to raise a child. So what do you think it takes to raise your inner child? You won't do this by yourself? In order for you to reparent yourself, it doesn't take a village to reparent yourself? That's what you're trying to tell me? False. Lies. Faux. Wrong. Or maybe you're right. Who knows? But it is better off when you're able to connect with people. So just the fact that I'm in here and there's 18 of y'all, mad random, I was just like, screw it, we're going to do it right now. That is a testament to like people, 20, look at that. But honestly, people want the real. You get what I'm saying? Saturn in Cancer, what does that mean? To break down Saturn as easy as possible, because I've been learning about Saturn. Shout out to Deborah. But I've been learning about Saturn on a way different level, because Saturn is just like, yo, did you get up this morning? Okay, cool. Did you brush your teeth? Oh, you forgot? Points taken off, right? It is something so funny because the idea is like, it's in your consistency. It's in your daily ritual. It's in your, I'm choosing to do this. I am actively, mentally choosing to make this happen. So let's say you have Saturn in Cancer. Your focus, your life responsibility, the karma that you possess, which isn't good or bad, is that it has to be of the soul, of the family, of water, of really understanding the emotional element of like what's going on in the world around you. And so wherever your Saturn is ends up becoming your lesson. And we get scared of Saturn because we're like, oh no, we have to work for something. Yeah, you do. Because the difference between what you're aiming for, the highest height that you're like, if you look at a celebrity, if you look at like your favorite this, your favorite that, your favorite whatever, you want to know the difference between you and them? You want to know the difference between you and your favorite artist? They just never stopped. They just never stopped. Even when they doubted themselves. You might be hearing on podcasts with random people where they're like, oh, motivation is BS, because it is. This is coming from a fire sign. I know I'm like the motivate people, fight to fight, right? I know that's me. But at the same time, amazing. I popped off. You're throwing down on my Saturn. Facts. The love-hate relationship with Saturn is, I was about to say, I'm like, it's low-key the love-hate relationship that it has with us, because it's like, man, we don't put them on this planet and have given them the literal road and path to success. Are they going to take it, or are they not going to take it? Because it sucks. It sucks. It sucks to be disciplined, but we gonna make consistency sexy. I was challenged by this from a fellow astrologer who was a Virgo. Shout out to the homie. But she challenged me. She's like, if you gotta make consistency of practice sexy, and I was like, bet, that's my job. That's what we gonna do. So consistency inspires motivation. Honestly, motivation ain't shit. I'm gonna be so real with you. The only time I'm gonna be so real. The only time motivation is really it is if you're doing something creative. If you're doing something like very much like, oh, here's just a little piece of art, motivation is perfect. If it's like, oh, I just want to go on a walk, oh, that's great. I love that you're motivated to go on a walk. But it's like, okay, let's say you want to lose weight. Have you been going on a walk every day? Oh, well, I went on a walk like 3 days ago. I'm like, okay, what about today? What about right now? Why not? And why are you not doing this in the next 2 hours? Scorpio placements love making everything sexy. You gotta make it look sexy. I gotta go hard on the bend. I'm gonna make it look sexy. Let me stop. But them energies of Cancer is no joke. It's not. It's not a joke. This is not a game. As much as it's like we're in a simulation, this is a game. This is the character you're playing. This is not a game. This is literally like the real spiritual development of why people incarnated here to begin with, to experience the human experience. People are scared of emotions. That is what sets us apart. That's what sets us apart. And not to say that other things don't have feelings. I do think low-key inanimate objects have feelings. It's a whole other conversation that I will talk about on Threads sometime. So any of my weird Sagittarian rambles, I'll go over the Threads. It'll be a fun time. But this is the change, right? Because you're going to see a bunch of TikToks. You're going to see a bunch of reels of everyone being like, the North Node is going to be changing something. It's like, yes, it is. But what does that mean? Because like we could pick up a book. We could pick up this. I could read you this. I could tell you this. But if you don't feel it, if you're not really feeling what's going on, you're not going to receive it. I'm here to make you feel it because it's already existing within you. I'm just here to be like, you're so much cooler than you think you are. Like that's, your Taurus sun is conjunct your North Node in Aries. Get that Taurus to work. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but the consistency, the discipline, the practice, just the integral bit of you just putting in that little bit is going to make a world of a difference. Like an entire world of a difference. So don't be afraid of yourself. Don't be afraid of yourself. Because it's yourself that people are looking for. It's yourself that's the difference between you and impressing somebody that you want to impress. It's yourself that ends up bringing out the world that you want to see. So when the chips are out, when everything's that new moon in Cancer and on, you really have to tap into that feeling. Right? Mystic Veil said North Node in Aries means finding identity in others and lead yourself. Be the bold leader. And you want to know the best part about the North Node in Aries? If you're a leader and you meet someone else who's a leader and you get to make a gaggle and a group of people that are leaders and build partnerships, you're working that South Node aspect. So you don't feel like you're alone. You get what I'm saying? Like this is real astrology. Like this is really what's going on, because we could sit here and I could be like, can you imagine that the nodes of destiny are shifting signs? Like, what does that mean? No one knows what it means. But like, I feel that. Thank you, Poppy. Because like literally, Poppy Daydream said, like, I feel that. And it's in the feeling that is what astrology is good for. That's why I love doing readings for people. Bet, how can we get you back to your center? You get what I'm saying? It's taken me years to even get to the point where I'm like so confident. I'm so this. You know how many times I've gone live? Do you know how many times I've gone live or have made a reel or like have done, like, I didn't do any of that before. If you look back at my old stuff, it is hideous. It is hideous. Terrible. I'm still spitting in it, but it's not the same. I'm saying like too much. I'm nervous. And now I'm like, all right, let's just do this live. That's not because I just hopped up and just did that. It takes your whole entire life to be an overnight success. So instead of you trying to just find that thing, every person that I know that went viral and didn't have anything else afterward is done. I've gone viral on TikTok. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I've gotten 2 videos that have hit 1 million on TikTok and nothing came from it. Not to say I expected it to, but this is just to go to show that the numbers don't matter. I mean, they do matter. Let me take that back. The numbers do matter, but like as far as the impact, if you're trying to have impact, might not be the whole numbers, right? I would rather have 20 of y'all in this live stream, making sure that I can like genuinely give you that impact and restore that inner like, oh, I could do this, than me talking to 30,000 people and no one even cares about astrology to begin with. Screw that. It's not about that. It's about what we're really getting to. It's about the people that are really popping through. It's about the ones that are actually looking for that real information to make a fucking change in their life. They're gonna be looking at the cameras like, this dude is tripping. I'm like, yeah, this is what it is. But I was about to say, I'm afraid of myself. I know I'm powerful though. If you're afraid of yourself, imagine what the people that don't like you are. And if they don't like you, it's because they maybe kind of admire you, or there's something about it that they're like, oh, I wish I could do that. Like, oh, it'd be so cool if I could do that. So who's losing out? I'll also be realizing, this is mad random, I'm a master of making myself look short on video. It's cool. It's a fun time. Regardless. And when people see me, I'm like, hey, everybody. Not the point. But the idea, though, and the reason why this is so important is because this new moon in Cancer, you choose how you feel. You choose how you feel, and when you're scared of how you feel, good. Because that feeling, that I don't know, is giving you the opportunity to make or break on your soul's promise. And what is your soul's promise? To be yourself. You have a chart that literally tells you the intricacies of what that is, right? And I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Feel free to reach out. Anyone that does want to get or book a reading, I'm going to be free next week. Yeah, I just cleared up my queue. So if you want to get a reading pretty or relatively fast, make sure that you sign up for a reading this weekend, and I'll definitely be able to get to you this week because I just cleared out everything else that I was doing. And if you want to learn the astrology 101, please make sure that you pull up for that. I don't care if there's one person in that class. I don't care if there's 35 people in the class. I don't care if there's 100 people in the class. I'm going to be teaching that from bottom to end and explaining everything out. Let's get stiff. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, this is the change. You get what I'm saying? Someone said North Node and Pluto conjunct Moon and Jupiter in Scorpio literally scare people away. Are you scaring people away? Or are you not actually letting the fullness of yourself out? Are you hiding that other part? My readings are typically 2 for an hour, but it's not an hour. It's usually like an hour and a half. I'm not going to lie. Basically, for anyone who does want to get a reading with me, you're paying for just like the time frame and the time block, and anything kind of within that is going to be geared towards what you're aiming for. I'm not an astrologer who's like copy paste, this, that, and the third. Everyone's needs and their wants are different. So I approach every single person's chart, reading, consultation differently. There's some things that remain the same, of course, but everyone has to have a different approach. And when you don't have a different approach to each person, you're just assuming like, oh, you're an Aries? Well, I know how Aries works. So have you met an introverted Aries? Have you met an Aries who's like actually too loud and confident? Have you met an Aries that is actually able to feel more like a Libra than they are an Aries? This is how that vibe is. So if you want the sauce, come to the boss. Let me stop. I am about to head out in just a minute though, but I do appreciate you all for popping in. Crybaby Lilith, if you want to get a reading, you hit me up about that, so I can, or anybody, just like if you want to get a reading and you're like trying to figure out what exactly you're aiming for, feel free to just DM me, reach out to me, ask me a little bit about it. I'll send you like a voice note. I could break down what's going on and we can get you into that, because everyone is so different, so beautiful, and so effing special. I want to swear more, but I need to chill. And so special that like I want to be able to help divvy that directly to you and what's going on with you. Everyone else is different. You can't approach health. It's not a one size fit all for health. So how would it be for like your spiritual life and development? It's ridiculous. Okay. Cool. Phew. Oh, okay, bye. I have just paid bills, but you hit you up when you're ready. Yeah, no doubt. Ain't no problem. It's whenever, like, when I talk about the readings, I'm like, yo, it is in divine timing. Like, y'all gonna pull up when it's time. I'm gonna be ready to do your chart on this time. The sooner the better, always. But for real, I'm literally your astrologer. I'm here for y'all. Like, this is what it is for. This is what this is supposed to be. So, yeah. I have nothing else to say. Does anyone have any last minute questions? I'm about to dip out in like 3 minutes. Ask whatever you want, I guess. I don't know. But this is the North Node. This is the change. You have heard me North Node and Aries it out. I was yelling a bit. That's fine. It's too water. It's a lot of water energy going on. So my fire is just like, here we are. Right. When did the North Node and Aries shift? The North Node and Aries is going to be shifting on the 17th when the new moon in Cancer is happening. So it's not just a regular new moon. It's also a shifting of the moon's nodes. So keep that in mind. The full moon in Capricorn is still lingering. I hope the vibe of the full moon in Capricorn just exists at this point. I hope it's just like, because that full moon in Capricorn was very, very eye-opening for me, where I'm like, yo, this is just an everyday thing. If it's about me going live more, bet. If it's about me just typing whatever random thoughts that I have about astrology or anything that I think could help from an angle of a Sagittarius, here y'all go. Because it's not about me. It's not about this. This is about the work. This is about what's going on there, right? This is going to be fun for you. The North Node is in 27 degrees Libra. All the best. You're going to be feeling that. That's a big nodal opposition. But that's also calling you to like not be dependent on anybody else but yourself, right? I'm in Aries. I'll be in touch. Hey, hit the link in the description. Woo! Get a reading. Let me stop. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being you. And that's why I'm like, it's not. I'm simply. What was it? There's a line that I wrote a long time ago where it's like, I was like dumb young, but I was like, I'm a vessel for your wants and needs, your dreams attached to me, entangled in your fantasy. But the whole idea behind this is like, we're trying to like bridge that in. Like, I am just here to show you the cool parts of you that you might have forgot. Yeah, we're doing patty cake. What y'all want? I'm a grown man. I'm doing patty cake. What y'all want? No, I'm playing. The new moon in Cancer on a day the sun changes into Leo. No. The sun changes into Leo on the same day Venus goes retrograde, which I will also be breaking down very soon from now. But I did want to come in, really break down this North Node, Aries, South Node, and Libra. And yeah. You better be joking. No, I'm playing. I just saw the profile picture. The water energy and fire energy is ups and downs. Facts. What else? Cap Moon was hard because I had to set boundaries, but good for me. Your boundaries are your sanctuary to allow you to actually activate your soul without having to feel like you need to shrivel yourself down for somebody else's BS. Venus retrograde, is it benefiting Leo? It's a good question. Venus retrograde is not my favorite retrograde historically, but it's because you have to really sit there and be like, yo, do I even like this thing? Right? Like, do I even like, this is a phone case, but it's like, do I even like the color of this? Well, yeah, I always like this color. But I don't know. Maybe I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Venus and Leo retrograde. Because you're like, oh, this is what I love. Why do I love it? And there's literally just people just sitting over in the corner like. So, yeah. Wherever your Mercury sign is, it's Mercurying. Thank you. I work a lot to do that. I will continue to talk about stuff to help the people, because I love y'all, real shit. For real, like it's really dope to be able to just like sit here in this random room to be like, hey, here's this stuff that I've been researching endlessly about. I hope it helps somebody. But for real, definitely look out for more YouTube lives. Look out for more of this, because like we're gonna do this. It's gonna be an interesting next 6 months. You're damn right. And it all depends on how much you're willing to trust in yourself and your own multiplicity. So community building up. Yo, the community on Threads have been popping. I really feel bad, to be honest with y'all, just before I leave, cause I know y'all be leaving comments, and I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I get overwhelmed because I'm like, which one? I post so many random things, I don't know where to reach that. So like Threads has just been nice, because I'm like, oh, this person just said that. Hey buddy. But please still comment and share it and everything else like that. Please. Not playing, but like for real, it really does help out. And some days it'll be like, here's something with 50 likes, and I'm like, that's 50 people that liked it, that really the homies. So that's what's up. And on the other end, hold up. Are you on Threads now? What about the Discord? Honestly, I tried the Discord. Thank you for showing up for that. Shout out to Amber. She was one of the first people to sign up for the Discord. I don't know how to use it. I'm gonna be so honest with you. my tech brain was like, I got this. Nah, it's hard to be able to do that. So Threads, it works for me just because I'm like, stream of thought. And plus anybody can pop up for that. I will be working on, and just to let you know, probably closer to the new moon in Cancer, I'm going to be working on a subscription-based service, where it's like I read for y'all every week. I'm figuring out the pricing. I'm figuring out the specifics on that, but you would get a reading for yourself in your inbox. Amber, please make sure that you hit me up for that, so I can end up giving you some type of finesse for that, because you was one of the day ones. What about Twitter? If it's cool enough, I'll put it on Twitter. I just feel like Twitter, I don't like the way that Twitter's been since they got rid of everybody that was working on it before. And I don't like it's too much of the Wild West, to be honest. Hey, I got a booking. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, someone just signed up today. All right, cool. Much love though. Appreciate you. And yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, I'm going to be able to do that, and just excited to be working with y'all throughout the rest of this summer, moving forward, and being your favorite astrologer of all time. And shout out to the homies too, who are really out here doing it. I'm doing my best to promote that. So if you see me repost somebody, astrology-wise, spiritual-wise, with praises, I consider them the real deal until proven otherwise. Usually hasn't happened. It's happened once or twice though. Don't get it twisted. But usually it's literally all love, you know what I'm saying? When we gonna grab coffee? When you gonna hit me up about it? Damn. People be yelling at me like, when we gonna do that? Just like, ask me. Damn. What's up? No fun. I'm still a Sag. I'll be hard to reach sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. That's never personal. I'm just stars. It's a straight up. So, alright. I'm gonna go. Also, for the people in LA, if you want a live reading, hit me up. I've been doing some more in-person readings recently. It's been really dope. Shout out to the people who have been here day one. And y'all are still here with me right? I'm gonna go. I love y'all. Thank y'all for still being here. If you want more live streams, make sure that you hit it up in the description underneath. Comment on this. Share this with somebody who you think could use this, because we're not playing. YouTube is up to date. The YouTube, the last thing I had on there was a full moon in Capricorn. I'm going to be putting more of the educational stuff and everything else like that as time goes. But it's literally like the more that y'all are like, hey, we need this. Hey, I want more of this. Hey, can you give me more of that? I'm going to start doing those things because I want to give the people what they want. It's not about me. It's about where this could go. How can you utilize these random findings to make the best of your energy? It's a book of reading with the kid. Yeah, woo. I don't want to put any weird hand things up that I don't know. But much love to y'all. Until next time, have a good one. Peace out. Stay beautiful.